I was invited to my sister's wedding, but my husband wasn't, and now I know why. I'm 34, married to Eric for 5 years. We've always been really close with my family, especially my younger sister Alex, who's 30. So when her engagement announcement came, we were absolutely thrilled for her and her fiancé Luke. A few weeks ago, the wedding invitation arrived. It was gorgeous. One of those fancy cards with gold trim and embossed lettering that screams expensive formal wedding. I was so excited to open it, already mentally planning what dress I'd wear. Then I saw it. Just my name. No Eric. I stared at that card for what felt like forever, flipping it over, checking for a second page, even looking at the envelope again, thinking maybe his invite got separated. But no, this was clearly intentional. Just my name printed there. I didn't tell Eric right away. I figured it had to be some kind of mistake, so I called my dad thinking he'd clear it up quickly. We're close, he'd know what happened. He didn't laugh it off like I expected. He got weird the absolute second I asked about it. Started stammering about how Alex and Luke were keeping the guest list really small, something about venue capacity restrictions, and no plus ones allowed. But the way he said it felt completely wrong, too rehearsed, like he'd been practicing that explanation. I let it go at the time, told myself I was probably just overreacting. A week passed. I still hadn't mentioned anything to Eric because I didn't want to hurt him over what might be nothing. Then came the family barbecue at my cousin's place last weekend. I was in the kitchen grabbing drinks when I overheard my aunt talking to my mom in the corner by the sink. They didn't realize I was standing right there. I still can't believe what Eric said at Christmas, my aunt said quietly. I froze. My hand was literally on the refrigerator door handle. I know, my mom replied. Alex was absolutely devastated. I don't blame her one bit for not inviting him to the wedding. My heart started pounding. What the hell did Eric say at Christmas that was apparently so terrible? I walked over to them and they went completely silent. My mom's face drained of color. My aunt suddenly became extremely interested in her phone. What are you talking about? I asked. What did Eric supposedly say? They tried to brush it off, but I wasn't backing down. I demanded to know what Eric had said that was so unforgivable my sister wouldn't invite my husband to her wedding. Finally, my mom caved and told me. At Christmas dinner last year, my uncle made some joke about Luke being totally whipped by Alex. Just typical guy banter. Eric had laughed and said something like, yeah, Luke's definitely punching above his weight with Alex. My entire family sitting at that table heard it as Eric calling my sister ugly. They'd been holding on to this for 8 entire months. Nobody said a single word to us about it. They just quietly decided Eric wasn't welcome anymore and iced him out of family events. When I got home that night, I asked Eric about it directly. His face went pale. He genuinely didn't remember saying it, probably because it had seemed so insignificant at the time. When I explained how everyone interpreted it, he looked absolutely horrified. I meant Luke was lucky, Eric said. Like, how did Luke land someone as amazing as Alex? I wasn't calling her unattractive. I was saying Luke scored someone totally out of his league. But my family never asked for clarification. They just assumed the worst and froze him out. I called Alex immediately. She actually picked up this time, and I laid everything out. Told her exactly what Eric had meant, how it was supposed to be a compliment that got twisted. There was this painfully long silence on the phone. Then Alex said coldly, that's not what it sounded like to me. I completely lost it. Told her that 8 months of silent treatment over a misunderstood comment was absolutely ridiculous. That she could have just asked us about it at any point. That she was willing to exclude my husband from her wedding over something she never even verified. She got defensive. Said I was making excuses for him. Said if he really meant it as a compliment, he would have clarified it right there. We haven't spoken since that call 3 days ago. Eric's devastated. He wrote Alex a detailed apology letter explaining what he actually meant, but I don't know if she'll even read it. My mom keeps texting saying I'm overreacting and that I should just come to the wedding alone to keep the peace. But how am I supposed to celebrate my sister's marriage when she can't even give my husband the benefit of the doubt?